and welcome to the Maruti Suzuki studio right here at the center of the Maruti Suzuki Pavilion. We're inching towards the end of the Auto Expo 2020, and joining us in the studio today, we have a young, budding entrepreneur, the founder and developer of Xane AI, Ayush Jain. Ayush developed Xane, which is an AI-based bot, while he was in his final year at IIT Delhi. Welcome, Ayush. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, doing good. Thanks a lot, Archana.
It's so good to see you here. I'm super excited to know all the cool stuff that you're doing. But firstly, have you had a chance to go around the Maruti Suzuki Pavilion, take a look at the cars?
Yeah, I just took a brief look, and I think it's really exciting to see, the new cars. I love cars, and there's love all around.
Yes, there is love all around, and apparently you share a particular love story with Maruti Suzuki. Tell us about it.
So, I learned over Maruti Suzuki when I was at 18 years of age and got my driving license. And our first car, Maruti Zen, 2002 model, I should say, which we drove for 15 years down the line, and the total value, I should say. And then we moved to Maruti Suzuki. So I think my all cars have been from Maruti Suzuki. Yeah.
It definitely did pay off, Ayush, when you became part of the Mobility and Automobile Innovation Lab program. How exciting was that for you?
Yeah, I think that is the best program that I have ever gone throughout my journey of startups. And the best part was co-creating with Maruti Suzuki. I think the best part is to work with their internal teams, come up with a solution, and which can be scaled to mass. Maruti Suzuki is one of the leaders in the OEM space. So I think that is pretty awesome that we got to work with Maruti Suzuki.
Indeed it was. And for you, what do you think were the highlight features of the program in itself?
The first was, the challenge that they give you. In the initial stages of the program, there is a challenge which is planned for your startup, and you have to come up with a solution for that challenge. So the best part was to come up with an innovative solution, leveraging the technology or anything that we have to come up something that can be used by a large mass. So that was the first highlight. And the second was, coming up with a solution that can be scaled to mass while working with Maruti Suzuki internal teams which are experts in this field.
So for our viewers who don't know much about Xane AI, tell us a little bit about the technology and the solutions that your startup is actually working on.
So at Xane AI, we basically build AI bots for automating and augmenting the user experience, right? And especially with Maruti Suzuki, what we did was there is a car owner's manual which comes along with every car. So we have come up with a solution where you can use your smartphone. The camera is a part of your smartphone. Just put it around your car. It will tell you what the features are. Right? For example, if there is a warning light popping in your dashboard.
I was going to ask you, does it tell you when there's a malfunction?
Yeah, absolutely. So any warning lights that are popping in the dashboard and you don't know what to do in that situation, right? There is no internet connection. There are a lot of things that might not be there when you are in a fix, right? But we have designed this solution for every part of your network coverage is slow or internet is not working. You just have to scan that. It will tell you what it does and how it can be fixed, etc., etc., and further connect you to Maruti Suzuki's authorized workshops nearby. And it's like a whole end-to-end solution.
Well, that's a very, very interesting solution that you found. But tell me, has there been a difference while you're trying to develop this, reach out to people with this wonderful, wonderful thing that you're, Xane AI that you're developing? Has it been easier since you joined the mail program?
I should say, obviously, Maruti Suzuki is a big brand that you come along and brings a lot of credibility when you are working as a startup like us, which no one knows about in the right. And when we go out there and we say, we are doing this stuff with Maruti Suzuki, what do you feel like? And then we get good responses. But I think it's again a challenge of how the initial stages is again, prototyping it, then failing, then again prototyping, then failing. So there is a lot of hit and trial involved. But I think as far as we have Maruti Suzuki with us, we'll get through it.
I don't think it's failing as much as it is learning, honestly. Tell me how being part of the mail program has benefited your startup.
As a startup, you don't get a chance to work with big conglomerates, big corporates like Maruti Suzuki, where there are thousands of people, different departments, the hierarchy is so big. You can't go through that hierarchy. You can't just ladder up that hierarchy to come up, sell them a solution. So first learning is how to actually work with big organization. The second was absolutely, if there is a big problem faced by the mass, how to actually build a solution which can scale to this mass, which can apply to this mass, right? Which you can use it. As a technologist, I can build anything, right? But that might not have any application for you.
Correct.
So that is the most
scalability, I think, is key.
Absolutely.
For any startup.
Any startup, right?
Yeah.
So I think that is, that was the second benefit that we got through this mail program.
Wonderful. But tell me, what were your expectations when you were actually applying for the mail program?
First, I think that the biggest expectation was we would get to work with Maruti Suzuki. Before the program, they don't promise you anything. There's just a challenge, in front of you. And the only expectation is just focus is that you have to work, get a contract with Maruti Suzuki and come up with a solution which can be used by the mass. Again, I'm just focusing on the mass because that is, I think, the biggest challenge as a startup as well, that we face challenges in finding the product market fit that we call.
Correct.
Right? So I think that expertise comes from Maruti Suzuki in a very beautiful way through mail program.
So I think it's right for me to ask you, did it meet your expectations, the mail program?
Yeah, I think they exceeded the expectations.
It's always nice to hear.
Yeah, and we are already working with them, so I think it has been a really a lifetime, a learning of a lifetime, I should say.
Well, we're glad that the mail program has exceeded your expectations, but tell me, how different is this program from others?
The best part is you get to work with the internal teams here. Other programs can offer you money, investments, funds, all those sort of stuff. But I think the best part is that you get to work with the actual problem and you have an ecosystem that you can test on. Maruti Suzuki, through this mail program, actually gives you that platform and a test bed, an ecosystem where you can test your product, you can come up with a solution and then scale it.
Feedback as well.
Feedback as well, right? Yeah. So that is the biggest difference between other programs, that you get to work with internal teams and you come up with a solution which is scalable to mass.
And for a lay person like me, if we were to go out there, how do we get access to the Xane AI app?
So it will come along with official Maruti Suzuki applications, right? So we have different channels that we are planning. First is obviously, the mobile application of Maruti Suzuki. The second is a web-based app. So you don't need to, how many apps do you have on your phone, right? Only ones, which you must be using day by day, daily, right? We have come up with a progressive web application where you can just click on your browser, go to the website and it will work just like an app.
Well, would you recommend other startups to be a part of the mail program?
Oh, I think absolutely, especially those who are looking an opportunity to work with big corporates and who have a solution for automobile companies, or I should say, because we are diving into this new age of green mobility as well, right? So there are a lot of things that startups are working on, being eco-friendly, being environmental friendly, etc., etc. I think every one of those should try, to get into this program and work with the best.
It's interesting. You mentioned you're a technologist. So as a technologist, how do you think we can use AI in order to be environmentally more conscious?
We can replace paper. For example, I'll talk about my solution. So Xane AI is a application which can replace your owner's manual which comes along with the car. It's a bulky manual, around 400.
There's a lot of paper there.
A lot of paper, right? And it's of no use.
Any message that you'd want to pass on to other startups as to why they should be joining the mail program?
The first is, if you want to be challenged and you want to build a product which has high usability or a good number of consumer base. So I think that would be the first message that I would go. And second is obviously you get to, you will have a learning of a lifetime, going through this whole process of the mail program. All the processes, all the mentors who are in the program, they help you. They are the experts in the field with 20 plus, whatnot years of experience. So you don't get access to these people that easy. So you get to learn a lot.
What do you think sets apart the youth of today than perhaps the previous generations?
I think youth today is pretty demanding in nature. They need instant gratification to everything that is around, right?
Yes.
Any fault, there are a lot of apps around. Whatever the problem is, you just have to, quickly call someone to get it fixed, right? So I think that is the most, challenging for as businesses as well to cater to. And I think that is the, biggest factor that sets youth apart from the previous generation.
Indeed, we all see it all the time. So many young people here at the Auto Expo. It's amazing that Maruti Suzuki actually came up with the Mission Green Million initiative at this Auto Expo itself. What are your thoughts on it?
I think Mission Green Million is a fantastic effort by Maruti Suzuki. They have always been ahead of the curve. And it's the need of the hour. Look at the pollution levels in the cities here.
And personally, since we are talking about the environment, we're talking about pollution, we're talking about how we need to be more environmentally conscious, how do you contribute to it and what can our viewers do?
So I think I think the water wastage, water management, we can use washer cars like Maruti Suzuki has come up with waterless washing in their, Nexa workshops. So I think that is a first step in order to conserve water. And for, everyone around there, they can do just like, save on plastics, paper, water, whatever they can. I think everyone does their best and I think we'll be good.
Yes, small steps in the right direction. Thank you so much, Ayush, for spending time with us here at the Maruti Suzuki studio. It's been a pleasure having you and all the very best with everything that you're doing, all the wonderful, cool stuff.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Great pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Right, and for those of you watching, thank you as well, always. Please do share if you like what you see using the hashtag Maruti Suzuki Studio and the hashtag Maruti Suzuki AE20.